Jey Uso is officially the new number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship alongside CM Punk. Obviously, if you missed last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, you would already know this, and if you didn't, I'm sorry for spoiling it for you. And the big question on everyone's mind leading up to this was, what's going on with Seth Rollins? We know the answer. He is legitimately hurt and he's going to be missing a lot of time. So, they obviously had to vacate the championship. And then Adam Pearce announces the Battle Royal that would take place later on in Monday Night Raw, where we would determine the new number one contender. And a lot of people got really excited for this because a Battle Royal really opened the playing field up. But even then, I think we all kind of knew what the answer was going to be, and that answer was going to be Braun Breaker. That is until they announced that Braun and Bronson were not going to take part in the Battle Royal, which opened things even more. And the desire for people wanting to see someone new being put in this position, we get Jey Uso once again. So the purpose of today's video is we're going to talk about Jey Uso being the new number one contender and if it was the right decision or not. Real quickly, before we get too far ahead in the video, I want to say that if you are a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. That is all we post is WWE related content. So if you're a WWE fan, again, consider subscribing. It's free. You can always change your mind later. So my overall opinion on Jey Uso being the new number one contender, winning the Battle Royal, I'm okay with it. It wouldn't have been my first choice, but I don't hate the idea. And I'll tell you why I don't hate the idea. Because him having this match with CM Punk opens the door for a lot of shenanigans, and those shenanigans would be Jimmy Uso. And that would progress the story between Jimmy and Jey further and further. Now, I could see that playing out two different ways. One being Jimmy cost Jey the title, and maybe we get a full-blown heel turn from either Jimmy and or Jey. But the other thing that I have in the back of my head that I kind of don't want to happen is Jey Uso winning the World Heavyweight Championship. Because if Jey were to win, then we could see him progress further and further down the path that Roman Reigns took. And then, obviously, you would have Jimmy Uso, who's not a big fan of that happening. So looking at all that, sure, you can make a good argument for it being the right decision to have Jey Uso as the number one contender. But looking on the other side of things, you have CM Punk, who I think everybody at this point wants to see CM Punk finally get this World Heavyweight Championship. And this is why I was hoping that this Battle Royal would open things up and give us something new to enjoy. Because we've seen Jey Uso in the World Heavyweight Championship picture for such a long time now, it's starting to get a little old. You have CM Punk, who's obviously been in the mix just as much as Jey has. Someone that I think could have made a very good opponent would be LA Knight. Because I really don't think that we got a satisfying conclusion to that little mini feud that those two had. And with this match taking place on a Saturday night's main event, I think they totally could have gotten away with it. Because this match is on a Saturday night's main event and not a major PLE show, the decision to have either CM Punk or LA Knight win or lose would not have hurt either of them in any way. And I'm not saying that a loss is going to hurt Jey or hurt CM Punk in that scenario either, but it just would have been something new. And while we have seen CM Punk and LA Knight fight for some time now, it would be over a major WWE championship. Because you would have two guys that I would argue everybody would be okay with winning. People have wanted to see LA Knight win a major WWE championship for many, many years now, and the same can be said for CM Punk. So I think it would have added a really cool dynamic throughout the course of that match and that story. And we know the promos would work, because let's not forget how good that promo was between the two of them a couple weeks ago. Whereas what we're getting between Jey Uso and CM Punk, I think the bigger story is between Jey and Jimmy. I think that they could have told that story without having a major championship on the line. And I think it would have worked just fine. But now you're incorporating that story into the World Heavyweight Championship, which is already kind of in a weird place, because let's not forget, you have Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed waiting in the wings for that championship. So to answer the big question at the beginning of this video, Was it the right decision to have Jey Uso be the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship? I'm gonna say no. I think there were a couple different options that you could go. I talked about LA Knight already. Someone completely out of nowhere, like someone like Dominic Mysterio, would have been really, really freaking entertaining. I just feel like we've hit the point with Jey Uso where they should focus on the story between Jey and Jimmy. Because again, I don't think this story necessarily needed Jey Uso to be in a title match for it to work. Now, where does that leave a guy like LA Knight? I'm sure he would find a way to weasel his way into the Jey Jimmy storyline, but how far are you going to be able to take that? So I just think that out of everybody that was in that battle royal, I think there were a lot of people who could have benefited more than Jey Uso. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down below in the comments, do you agree with the decision to have Jey Uso be the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship? Let me know why you think it is. Let me know why you think it isn't. I'm really, really curious on this one because it feels like whenever Jey Uso gets put in these positions, the crowd feel is kind of split 50-50. So as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments, and while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That is the only link in bio for a reason, and that is because it will take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel, and I do suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I am most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. Another place that you can go and find us on is TikTok. Now, the TikTok page is still relatively new, so the only content that really goes up on there right now is just clips from these videos, and it's just another place for me to post when I upload a video to YouTube. But eventually, we are going to be doing some more of the WWE-related things that take place over on TikTok. So if you're scrolling on your phone one day and you come across one of those videos, drop a like, drop a follow, show it some love. I'm really trying to grow that page a lot. With all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Both are free and both really, really help out the channel a lot. And of course, if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here because it genuinely means the world to me. As always, stay tuned for more WWE content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.